Women's basketball wins in a nail-biter.
The football team prepares for a season finale.
All this and much more coming up on the Penguin Rundown. Hello and welcome into the Penguin Rundown, everybody. I'm Dom Joseph alongside a boss, Braswell. It was a big week for both men's and women's basketball here at YSU.
It definitely was. We had a couple games to come down to the last couple minutes, and we were able to pull them off. And it looks like we were pretty good this season.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams for sure. Now, we talked about Senior Day coming up for football. It's the last game of the season coming up Saturday. Another team that was celebrating Senior Day last weekend was the volleyball team, and that's where you're going to get us started.
Yes. The volleyball team finished their season this past weekend in the Bigley Center against Wright State in Northern Kentucky. Unfortunately, they were defeated by the Wright State Raiders 3-0. Senior Aaliyah Hughes reported a double-double and a match high of 13 kills and 13 digs. Alongside Hughes, senior Valar Haggerty contributed 5 kills and 2 blocks. The next day was the team's senior night as they acknowledged their talented senior class of Aaliyah Hughes, Carla Rillitz, Erin Kelleher, and Valar Haggerty. They would then go on to battle Northern Kentucky and put on a show in a 5-set match, but would not come out with the win. However, Aaliyah Hughes set a Youngstown State record with the most attacks in a 5-set match, hitting 68. She would go on to have her match best of 22 kills and 16 digs. Her fellow seniors would also have their own career and season best in this match. Erin Kelleher posted her season high of 11 kills and 4 blocks. Valar Haggerty put up 7 kills and career best 2 solo blocks, and Carla Rillitz contributed her career high with 7 kills and 3 blocks. Sophomore setter Libby Darling also had an outstanding performance as she had 46 assists and 23 digs. Hughes and Kelleher ended on a high note, being named the Horizon League All-Academic Team for the second straight year. The Gwens will finish this season on a strong note despite the loss. Their finishing record will be 8-21.
The men's and women's cross-country team competed in the Great Lakes Regional on Saturday. Juniors Natalie Fleming and Chris Butler led the way for both of their teams. Fleming led the women's team to a finish of 20th with a time of 22 minutes, 19.8 seconds, which ended up being the 9th fastest time in school history during the 6K. Fleming was named Academic All-Horizon League as well as Second Team All-Horizon League. I had the chance to catch up with Fleming and hear about her accomplishments.
It's really exciting. I'm very proud because student athlete, I guess, it means I care a lot about my academics as well as athletics. So I'm really happy about it. Yeah, I think that I improved a lot from my placement last year at conference. So I wasn't expecting to be second team all conference, but I think that it really shows how much can change in a year.
Joining Natalie on the list of awards was junior Derek Bassinger to the Horizon League All-Academic Team. On the men's side, Butler finished with a time of 32 minutes, 41.1 seconds in the 10K. This ranked 12th in school history and led the team to finish 23rd. That wraps up the 2019 season. Congrats to the men and women's cross-country teams on a very great fall season.
The football team dropped a 24-17 contest at the hands of the Indiana State Sycamores this past Saturday. The defeat dropped the Gwens to 5-6 on the season and 1-6 in the Missouri Valley Football Conference play. Quarterback Joe Craycraft completed 11 of 33 passes for 181 yards, and the score Craycraft also rushed for 123 yards on 11 carries. Freshman C.J. Charleston caught 5 passes for 105 yards in the YSU debut. Congratulations to senior safety Kyle Hedges, who has been to the 2019 Academic All-District Football Team. Hedges was named the All-District 5 team, which covers the states of Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, and Indiana. The Penguins will close out the 2019 campaign this Saturday against Illinois State. Our very own Mike Wolfgang had the chance to catch up with Jacob Zinni and Antoine Cook to get their thoughts on the matchup.
Just execution. I think the last couple of weeks we haven't played as well as we wanted to, so I think, going out there Saturday and executing what we need to do, it'll handle itself.
It feels real good. We kind of didn't get the wins we wanted in the conference, so if we could definitely, knock this team out, it'll be a really good win for us and give us a new good step forward the next season.
Kickoff at the Ice Castle is set for noon. Be sure to come support as the team will be celebrating Senior Day. Now, I'll send it over to Richie and Christina for the Roundtable.
Thanks to Boston. Today, Richie, at the Roundtable, we've got some impactful seniors to talk about, and we're going to start with Mary Dunn on the women's basketball team.
Yeah, Mary Dunn, the most experienced player on this women's basketball team. Let's take it all the way back to her freshman year here at YSU. In 2016, playing 28 out of the 32 games. She got Horizon League Freshman of the Year. And then in 2017 and 2018, played in every single game for the Youngstown State Penguins. She was voted first team All-Horizon League last year as a junior. So for her, experience is the biggest role on this team.
Absolutely, not to mention 1,000 career points on Saturday. That's what she reached. And she's played with other 1,000 career point players, so that just shows her talent and ability on the court as well. And, she's really led this team. She's the heart and soul of this basketball team this year, and I think the key to their success. But now we're going to switch it over to the football field. Joe Alessi on the football team having a great season.
Yeah, and they say patience is one of the biggest virtues, and for Joe Alessi, this is exactly what he's had. You talk about his whole career. He's waited for this opportunity to be the starting running back his senior year. His sophomore and junior years, under 20 rushing attempts every year. In 2019, 118 rushing attempts, 700 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So he's taken full advantage of his opportunities on the field this year.
And not only his patience, but toughness, battling some injuries throughout the season. We've seen him come in and out of games, but he's done a great job leading this football team. And last but definitely not least, we're going to send over to the volleyball courts and Aaliyah Hughes, who's really led that volleyball team all season.
Yeah, Aaliyah Hughes, been the biggest leader on the volleyball team. Everybody on this volleyball team was almost freshmen coming into the starting lineup at the end of the season. So her last match on senior day, 68 attacks, school record, 22 kills, and 16 digs. She was huge for this team.
No doubt about it. She really led this team through an up and down season, but a fantastic job, and they're really going to miss her going forward. But that's going to do it for us here at the Roundtable. We're going to send it back over to Dom and Abbas, who have more.
Thank you very much, Christina and Richie. The women's bowling team finishes 7th at the SFA Lady Jack Hammer Classic. On Friday, the Gwins posted their second highest pinfall for an opening day to a tournament in program history. On Saturday, the ladies finished 3-2 and totaled 4,918 pins over 5 games, which is the third best for the team in program history. The Penguins defeated 10th-ranked Wisconsin Whitewater 2 times in bracket play to finish 7th in the tournament. Senior Rachel Darrow finished the tournament as the top individualist for the Gwins with total pinfall of 1,028. Next week, the Penguins will travel to Millsboro, Delaware to compete in the Hawk Classic from November 22nd through the 24th. We hope to see the Gwins continue their amazing season.
The men's swim and dive team competed against Niagara at the Oxy Aquatic Center. YSU won the 400-yard medley led by Nolan Dennis, Brandon Cheong, Wilson Cannon, and Duncan Moss. Cannon won the 200-yard freestyle and also took second place in the 100-yard butterfly. Moss took home a win in the 50-yard freestyle. Ryan Scher won the 500-yard freestyle, taking first place by under a second. Cheon came in second in the 100-yard breaststroke and the 200 individual medley. In the end, Niagara won the duel by a score of 124-91. The women's team, swim team, and dive beat Niagara 154-89 on Saturday afternoon at the Oxy Aquatic Center. The Penguins won 10 individual events against the Purple Eagles. YSU also took second place in 6 events in the meet. Ida Uranovics took the lead, winning 3 races. She won the 200-yard IM, the 100-yard butterfly, and the 500-yard freestyle. Kayla Rasman won both 1 and 3 meter diving events. Meanwhile, Aubrey Whitaker won the 200-yard freestyle and the 100-yard freestyle. Josie Prasecki won the 1,000-yard freestyle. Casey Prentice won the 50-yard freestyle. And Tefane St. Gilles won the 100-yard breaststroke. YSU ended the meet with a victory in the 400-yard freestyle relay with Prisecki, Tacey Miller, Hannah Oliger, and Whitaker. The Penguins compete again November 26th to the 24th at the Magnus Cup hosted by Cleveland State.
Last Friday, the men's basketball team traveled to Louisiana to face the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come up with the win, falling 73-61. Darius Quisenberry was the only Penguin to reach double digits, scoring 18 points while also getting 4 assists and 4 rebounds. The Gwins put up a good fight with the game, having 12 total lead changes and 8 ties. On to better news for the men's basketball team as they defeated NC Central 66-60 at home on Tuesday. Junior Naz Bohannon recorded his first career double-double and a career high in points, leading the team with 19 points and 11 rebounds. Jeff Hamperian also collected a career high in his first start at YSU, scoring 14 points and shooting 3 for 4 from three-point range. Quisenberry finished with 17 points, scoring 11 in just the second half. Here's what Hamperian, Bohannon, and Coach Calhoun had to say following the game.
They told me who we were guarding, and I just like the roles. I really locked in this week, and I just really played my role. I knew what my man was going to do. I knew what I was supposed to do, so I just tried to execute that.
Yeah, I mean, early on, my teammates just did a good job of finding me, and when you get rebounds, it's easy to get putbacks. I hit my free throws today for a change. I'm glad that happened, and I just seen it go in a couple times, so I just kept attacking, going hard.
Overall, I thought our defense won this game. You hold a team to 60 points when you're not shooting the ball that well. I'm not so sure we would have won this game last year. So our toughness level, our defense is really good now. Figure out the offense and we'll be okay.
The Gwins pulled off a good win. Hopefully this carries over to the upcoming games as they are on the road 3 of the next 4 starting tonight as they travel to Akron to face the Zips at 7 p.m. They will then head to USC Upstate on Saturday before returning home to face the Westminster Titans on Wednesday.
The women's basketball team made a double-digit comeback at the Beagley Center on Saturday after trailing by 18. The Penguins railed late to pull off a 79-77 victory against Eastern Michigan Eagles. Leading the way in scoring was senior Mary Dunn, who put up a career high of 30 points. After it was all said and done, Dunn also eclipsed the 1,000-point mark on her historic career at YSU. Dunn also had 7 rebounds to go along with 1 assist on the day. Junior Chelsea Olsen clinched a double-double in the comeback effort. Olsen scored 16 points with 15 rebounds and 5 assists. Also in double-digit points was freshman Maddie Schreis, who dropped 16 points, the last 2 coming from the free throw line to seal the victory. Freshman Maddie Allback also came off the bench to establish a strong defensive presence. Here's what Allback had to say about the defensive step up for the team.
Yeah, I think at halftime we talked about that, just bringing up our intensity and matching what they were doing. It was really hard to guard them in the first half. When a team shoots that well, it's really hard to defend. So going into the second half, I think we had a different mentality, and especially me and Nana having to guard and contain that number 13. She was a really quick guard, so just pressuring her a lot. Coach Barnes telling us to get up, pressure her full court, made a big difference because once you pressure her, their whole offense kind of falls apart. And just being in the right position, we talked about mental toughness at halftime, and just we practice every day, like being in the right help position, the right sink position. So adjusting to that and just doing what we know how to do really helped us in the second half.
And now it is time for the play of the week. Let's send it over to Katie Rogers-Videla, who has more.
Thanks, guys. This week's play of the week comes from Chelsea Olsen of the women's basketball team. Let's check it out. Olsen goes up and blocks her opponent's shot with seconds left remaining in the game. Let's take another look at that. Her opponent gets a skip pass, and she goes up and just gets her fingertips on that ball. What a great defensive play from her, and what a great way to seal the win, 79-77. That was all for play of the week. I'm Katie Rogers-Videla. Dominant Boss, back to you.
Thank you very much, Katie, and that'll do it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more, be sure to check out ysusports.com, and be sure to follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. That's all at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Dom Joseph.
I'm Abbas Braswell.
We'll see you right here next week, Penguin Nation.